A warm welcome to everyone who has joined us on our YouTube channel today. Today, we're going to dive into the full story of the Tamil movie Fire, which was released in 2025. Without wasting any time, let's jump right into the complete story of the film. The movie begins with a young man spending the night with a young woman in a villa near a river. After a while, he suddenly gets out of bed and steps outside. He walks down to the riverside steps and stares into the water. Just then, a masked man dressed in black approaches with an iron rod and attacks him. The masked figure then drags the unconscious man into a vehicle and drives off. In the process, the young man's phone gets tossed away. 2 days later, an elderly couple comes to the police station and meets Inspector Saravanan. They explain that their 27-year-old son Kasi has been missing for 2 days. He's a psychiatrist, and they beg the inspector to find their only child quickly. Saravanan then returns home but soon receives a call from Sergeant Karan with updates. So far, there's no record of any prior offense, and Kasi's last known activity was at his clinic. They couldn't find anything suspicious. Saravanan advises the team to trace Kasi's last call and identify his final known location. Next, Saravanan visits the clinic where Kasi last worked. During a search of Kasi's room, the police find some of his personal documents and a laptop. When they question the current receptionist, she speaks highly of Dr. Kasi, saying that many patients felt better just by seeing him. The police then speak to others close to Kasi. Everyone praises him as a kind and compassionate person. Later, the police learn about a woman named Meenakshi whom Kasi had recently helped. They track her down. Meenakshi is a mother of 2 and runs a small tailoring business. Her husband is heavily addicted to alcohol. One day, during an argument, her husband pushed her, injuring her spine. That's when she went to Dr. Kasi's clinic for treatment. One day, while Kasi was treating her, the clinic's assistant rushed in and said Meenakshi's daughter had swallowed a coin. Both Kasi and Meenakshi rushed to check on the girl, who was in serious distress. Kasi quickly performed first aid and saved her life by removing the coin. At that point, Kasi realized the girl had a speech disorder. He promised to help further by referring her to a child specialist and even offered to assist in her recovery. Impressed by Kasi's kindness, Meenakshi and even Durga, the previous receptionist, grew fond of him. Durga admired how good-hearted Kasi was. One day, an unexpected incident occurred at Meenakshi's house. A drunken moneylender to whom she owed money came to her home with another woman. He barged in, claimed he now had rights to her house because of the unpaid loan, ate her food, and told her to move out with her children. He and the other woman spent time in her house and mocked her as he left, saying this is also a way to repay debt. Devastated, Meenakshi felt hopeless with her 2 children. Another day, the same man returned alone and tried to force himself on Meenakshi. Neighbors heard the commotion and came to investigate. At that moment, Kasi happened to be passing by and saw the crowd. He stepped in to see what was going on. Kasi ended up in a brawl with the man and his gang. Pandian, the attacker, also joined the fight. Kasi fought him off, but Meenakshi stopped him, telling him not to get into trouble for her sake. Kasi then told Pandian that he would repay all of Meenakshi's debt, and to leave her alone. This incident made Meenakshi admire Kasi even more. You might remember this part of the story was being narrated by Meenakshi during police questioning. We now return to the present timeline. Saravanan then visits 3 of Kasi's close friends. From them, he learns that Kasi had a brief connection with Durga, the former receptionist. She used to live near Kasi's home, often brought him homemade food, and they had grown close. This leads both the police and the viewers to wonder, what happened to Durga? Why did she stop working at the clinic? Why is there a new receptionist now? The police begin looking into Durga's whereabouts. Saravanan also questions Kasi's parents about any romantic relationships he might have had. They insist he was never involved with anyone. While searching Kasi's room again, Saravanan finds another laptop. Just then, Saravanan receives a call from Minister Thirumurthy, asking to be updated about the investigation. This makes Saravanan wonder why the minister is so interested in Kasi. Continuing his investigation, Saravanan asks Kasi's father whether the minister was close to Kasi. The father explains that his other son, Ravi, who is a lawyer, had received treatment from Kasi and may have mentioned this to the minister. Saravanan then visits Ravi, who confirms that he had suffered from a spinal problem, but recovered completely after receiving treatment from Kasi. They became very close friends, and he says he is heartbroken over Kasi's disappearance. Saravanan then asks Ravi if Kasi had any connection to the minister. Ravi says he has no idea. At that moment, Saravanan receives a call. Kasi's phone has finally emitted a signal from a villa near the river at the edge of town. The police rush to the location. There, they meet an old man watching over the villa. He says the place belongs to a man named Aaron, who currently lives abroad. Whenever Aaron is in town, he stays at the villa. The police show him a photo of Kasi, and the man confirms that Kasi was a good friend of Aaron and often visited the villa. When Saravanan asks when Kasi last came there, the man replies that Kasi arrived alone about 5 days ago, and that was the last time he saw him. With this, Saravanan is forced to believe this man's story, because there wasn't even a single CCTV camera installed anywhere in that villa. After that, Saravanan, who arrives with the police, inspects things like Kasi's laptop. But all they find are the movies Kasi had watched, and the team tells Saravanan the same. So next, Saravanan and his team go looking for a young woman named Priya, who had recently received a call from Kasi. When Priya is questioned, she tells the police that her husband is currently in Dubai and that she too will be going there in a few days. Then Saravanan asks Priya about Kasi. That's when Priya tells them that one day while she was working out at the gym, she injured her hand. At that moment, Kasi, who was at the gym, treated her. After that, Kasi gave her his visiting card. She visited his clinic for 2 or 3 days, and then Priya says she didn't feel the need to return anymore. While this conversation is happening, Saravanan and his team receive a call from the police station. Someone had come and confessed to Kasi's murder. Saravanan is shocked, because the person who confessed to the murder is an elderly man who frequently visited the villa to look after it. Saravanan approaches the man and asks if he really killed Kasi. The elderly man admits he did it, but then, something unexpected happens. Kasi's parents arrive at the police station and say, "There's nothing wrong with our son. He had to leave for some urgent work suddenly, but he'll be back home soon. He even called us. If you've filed a police report, please withdraw it." Now, the police are confused about what's really going on. With that, Kasi's disappearance becomes even more complicated. Saravanan instructs the police to investigate the phone call details as well. During this investigation, they discover a woman named Anitha who had spoken with Kasi. Saravanan summons Anitha to the station and asks how she knew Drive Kasi. At that point, Anitha starts telling her past. Kasi had once attended a wedding. That's where he met Anitha. It was there that Kasi found out Anitha was a widow. Her husband had passed away shortly after their marriage. Kasi gave Anitha his visiting card and told her to call if she ever needed anything urgently. From there, a friendship developed between Kasi and Anitha. After some time, Kasi called Anitha and said, "Tomorrow is my birthday. No one's there to celebrate it. Can you join me?" He invited her, as usual, to the villa. While the two of them were celebrating the birthday alone, Kasi became a little emotional and told her something that left Anitha confused. He said he once truly loved a girl named Durga. Just like Anitha's husband, Durga also died in a sudden accident. Thinking of her made him emotional. After hearing this, Anita said, "We're both in the same boat. Maybe fate brought us together," and became very affectionate toward Kasi. After telling this story, Anita tells Saravanan, "Please help me find Kasi. Otherwise, I'll lose the second chance at life that I started so happily." Meanwhile, the police commissioner tells Saravanan, if someone has confessed to Kasi's murder, file and close the case. But Saravanan insists there's more to it. He suspects that the man couldn't have acted alone and asks to continue the investigation. Saravanan then interrogates the elderly man who had confessed. The man explains that he lives with his granddaughter-in-law. She had been looking for a job, and since he was close to Kasi, he asked for help. Kasi gave her a job at the clinic as a receptionist. Her name was Durga. So, the old man who took care of the villa was Durga's grandfather-in-law. Durga worked at the clinic for a while. One day, after returning from the villa, the old man saw Durga locked inside their home, attempting suicide. He consoled her and told her that death isn't the solution to any problem. That's when Durga tearfully revealed a shocking incident that had occurred at the clinic. One day, while trying to hang a flower garland at the clinic, she fell. Her leg was injured, and Kasi examined her. While examining her legs, Kasi crossed some boundaries. Even though Durga resisted, Kasi calmed her down and continued the treatment. Durga, who had a small affection for Kasi, was caught off guard, and before she knew it, her clothes were removed during the treatment. That day, both of them seemed very happy at the clinic. A few days later, while Durga was about to leave for home after work, she noticed messages coming to Kasi's phone from the bathroom. She saw a voice message from a woman named Anita, who was crying. It said, "I trusted you. I got close to you. Please delete all the videos you recorded of me." Durga checked the videos and realized the truth. Kasi wasn't just involved with her, he had also been intimate with Anita, recorded the videos, and was blackmailing her for money. That's when Durga realized Kasi had ruined her life too. At that moment, Kasi arrived and asked her what she was doing with his phone. Durga said, "It disgusts me that I ever loved someone like you." Kasi coldly replied, "I never loved you. You only thought that way." When Durga said she wouldn't let him get away with it, Kasi said, "Let me show you something first." He played the video he had recorded with Durga from his laptop. Seeing Durga helpless, Kasi said, "If you try anything against me, I'll make this video public." After telling all this, Durga tells her grandfather, "There's no point in living anymore." But he consoles her and says, "Why should you die when the one who wronged you is still alive? Let me handle this." After this confession, Durga's grandfather tells that this is why he killed Kasi when he came to the villa one day. However, Saravanan still doesn't believe that he acted alone. Hoping for more evidence, Saravanan checks Kasi's laptop once again. While playing one of the saved movies, Saravanan finally discovers the hidden secret on Kasi's laptop. So, Kasi very discreetly edited videos of the young women he took advantage of, cutting them into the movies he downloaded. That way, someone casually watching the film would never notice Kasi's secret. But as the video progresses, Saravanan, who keeps watching, realizes that the things Priya and Anita said during their interrogations are just the tip of the iceberg. Much more happened with Kasi in the clinic room. Saravanan uncovers that Kasi initially treated the women who came to his clinic very kindly, only to slowly and subtly manipulate them. He blackmailed them and even took money. When they couldn't pay, he made deals with so-called high society men and extracted money from them through the women. Eventually, it's Anita who helps bring down Kasi's plan. Saravanan brings her back to the police, and urges her to finally reveal everything she held back the first time. That's when Anita starts confessing the rest of the story involving Kasi. After Kasi got everything he wanted from Anita, he tried to discard her without a trace. When Anita came to confront him, Kasi asked her for 500,000 rupees. That's when Anita asked if he really wanted her love or just her money. Kasi replied that he never said he loved her, that they had just enjoyed themselves emotionally and physically. Then he pressured her to find the money somehow. As a twisted form of motivation, he showed her a video of them together, just like he had done with others. Seeing that video devastated Anita. She begged him not to show it to anyone and to delete it. But Kasi refused. He continued to pressure her and the others as well. From Anita's confession, Saravanan learns more. Kasi didn't spare even poor women like Meenakshi who had come to him for help. He made deals involving women like them with people like Minister Thirumurthy. And when the opportunity arose, they would bring the women to the villa and have their way with them. As the case becomes more complex, Saravanan examines phone records and finds that on the day Kasi disappeared, the phones of Meenakshi, Priya, and Anita were all connected to the same cell tower near the villa. With this evidence, Saravanan gathers all three women and also brings in Durga's grandfather for questioning. That's when Priya breaks down first. She admits that when Durga's grandfather was arrested, they used a voice-changing app to call Kasi's parents and pretend he was alive, just to save him. All four of them tried to cover for each other, but Saravanan warned them not to hide anything anymore and to start telling the whole truth. Durga's grandfather then begins his confession. After the Durga incident, he had been waiting for a chance to take revenge on Kasi. Durga, while working at the clinic, had slowly uncovered more about Kasi's wrongdoings, including how he blackmailed other young women, and shared everything with her grandfather. That's when he came up with a plan to kill Kasi, involving Meenakshi, Priya, and Anita. But as time passed and things escalated, Durga couldn't take it anymore and took her own life. Her death pushed the others to carry out the plan faster. One day, Priya called Kasi and said, "Even though you put me in this mess, I still can't forget the happiness I felt with you. I want to be with you one more time." Kasi agreed. One night, as usual, he came to the villa with Priya. That night, the rest of them, Meenakshi, Anita, and Durga's grandfather, were ready to make their move. While Kasi was drinking wine with Priya, she secretly laced his drink with sleeping pills while he smoked a cigarette. That's why, at the beginning of the movie, we see Kasi suddenly feeling drowsy while with Priya and stepping outside for air. At that moment, Priya quickly called the others and told them Kasi was outside. All four of them, with clubs and rods, moved to the back of the villa where Kasi was. But in a twist, an unknown masked person suddenly appeared, hit Kasi with an iron rod, knocked him unconscious, and dragged him away. Just like we saw at the start of the movie, the four others were left standing and watching in shock. Durga's grandfather tells Saravanan, "Sir, even if you don't believe me, that's exactly how it happened. It was like divine punishment for that sinner who destroyed the lives of innocent girls." Meenakshi adds, "It was as if God himself came to punish him." The next day, Saravanan arrests Minister Thirumurthy and shows him one of the videos found on Kasi's laptop. Thirumurthy insists the man in the video isn't him, saying it's an AI-generated fake meant to frame him. Still, Saravanan and his team forcibly take him into custody. The police then release a public statement saying Drive. Kasi, who was responsible for numerous crimes, is presumed dead but no conclusive evidence has been found. They suspect he fled the country, and investigations are ongoing. And that brings us to the shocking ending of the movie. Saravanan is shown spending happy times with his wife and beloved daughter, the only child in his family whom he loved dearly. But one day, tragedy strikes. His daughter dies by suicide, leaving behind a video asking for forgiveness from her father. In it, she confesses that she was deceived by someone named Drive. Kasi and is now pregnant. She says she cannot bear the shame and the burden. It's then revealed to the audience that the masked killer of Kasi was none other than Inspector Saravanan himself. Unaware of the group's original plan to kill Kasi, Saravanan had coincidentally chosen that very night to take revenge and seek justice for what Kasi did to his daughter. He had taken Kasi's unconscious body to the forest and destroyed it completely. From the very beginning, Saravanan cleverly manipulated this investigation to frame Kasi as a criminal and portrayed him that way to society. Now you must understand how he acted to completely isolate him from society. As Saravanan looked at Kasi's lifeless body, a man who destroyed the lives of many innocent young girls, he also thought about his own daughter with sorrow. At that moment, he must have realized that when we raise children and guide them as they grow, we must also warn them that there are people like Kasi in this society. This world is a dangerous place, so we must always be very careful. If you think the movie was good, don't forget to like the video. And if you're new to the channel and enjoy watching movies like this, definitely subscribe to the channel and turn on all the bell notifications. With that, I'll say goodbye for now. Until we meet again with more awesome movies like this, I wish you all the best.